today with none other than Miss Bev of Bev's Cake Cafe.
And the best thing is that we're 100% vegan. Everything in our store is 100% plant-based.
But I went off. I took Jose in the freezer and I told him, I was like, I'll kill you.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 4 of This is Culture. Today we're going to be talking about your USP. That's your unique sales proposition and why this is important to you, not only as a real estate agent, mortgage rep, but a business person in general. So if you're going to get into any kind of business, you want to make sure that you're not going into business to compete with others. You're going in it to create your own unique space, your own environment. There's actually a theory out there that's called the blue ocean or the red ocean theory. What this means is that you never want to get into a red ocean because a red ocean is full of blood and you're not going to do good there. So that means going into an environment where there's too much competition for the same type of client or the same business. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you highlight whatever you're good at and whatever you do differently than others and go into a blue ocean. A blue ocean, there's no competition. There's no one out there to be your competition at all because you'll be the only one in that space. Luckily, we're all different and unique in different ways, so we're able to bring out those qualities that we have and mix it with whatever it is that interests us, whatever kind of business we're in, and then give our own spin on it. So for example, we were able to visit Cinnaholic for this week's Check This. So what Cinnaholic is, it's a bakery that creates cinnamon roll type pastries, and who doesn't love cinnamon rolls? Their unique proposition on the cinnamon roll is that they're 100% vegan, they don't use any dairy whatsoever, and are completely delicious. So check it out for yourself and see what you think.
Hi, my name is Vikas Mittal. I'm the franchisee here at Cinnaholic in Westfield. We are a customized gourmet cinnamon roll bakery where we provide our customers the option to choose from 18 different flavors of frosting and 22 different toppings that they can kind of customize their cinnamon roll. In addition to cinnamon rolls, we also offer baked cookies and brownies, our bite-sized baby buns, which come with a side of frosting, as well as Cinnaholics, which are our cinnamon roll-based birthday cakes, cookie dough scoops made from raw cookie dough. We also do a lot of catering for any kind of corporate event or birthday parties or weddings and stuff like that.
My name is Jessica. I'm a baker and a manager here at Cinnaholic Westfield. Today I'm going to be showing you how we make our cinnamon rolls. We do what we call a burrito, and we roll the dough into thirds. Next we take our rolling pin and we roll out the dough. After the dough is even and in our rectangle shape, we take our scraper and we draw what we call a butter line. This line, we do not want to have butter above it because the dough will not stick together when we form the rolls. After that, we evenly spread our non-dairy butter. Next, we layer on our cinnamon sugar mix. After that, we're going to start rolling our dough into a log. We take the one end and we fold it up about a third of the way because we want three swirls in our dough. We use one hand to twist and the other hand to kind of guide the roll. After that, we pinch our ends together, and this is where that butter line came in handy because if we had butter above that line, the seal would not stay closed. Then after our first seal, we go back and we do a second seal. We measure our rolls between 4.5 and 5.5 ounces. I weigh each one of them just to make sure that they stay consistent. After that, our rolls will go onto a greased tray and then into the oven for 14 minutes to cook. The first step in the process of creating your customized roll is to choose your frosting. This one I'm making right now is our Cookie Monster. Our next one that we're going to be making is our Raspberry Dream. It has chocolate frosting. Our Blue Devil roll, which is specific to our location in Westfield, has maple frosting. And one of my personal favorites is our peanut butter frosting. After our frosting, we move to our toppings. Our next step in our Cookie Monster, it is topped with our cookie dough, which is 100% non-dairy and egg-free. It also has chocolate chips and chocolate sauce. And our Raspberry Dream is topped with raspberries and almonds. Our Blue Devil roll is topped with pecans and caramel sauce. And my favorite, I'm topping the peanut butter frosting with our homemade peanut butter cups.
And the best thing is that we're 100% vegan. Everything in our store is 100% plant-based. So we welcome you to come down and see us here in Westfield. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. You can find us on Cinnaholic Westfield.
Wow, those cinnamon rolls look almost too good to be true. I may just have to break my diet. Which leads us to our next segment, which is going to highlight Bev's Cake Cafe in Union, New Jersey. She's also this week's curb appeal expert. So what makes Bev's Cake Cafe so unique is not only that she's a full-blown artisanal bakery, but she also serves West African food. Now, it's not every day you see that combination in one place. This week, we had our correspondent, Margaret Christy, on site, where she was able to learn how to sculpt a piece of cake into any desired shape you want. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've always dreamed about being on the show Nailed It, so maybe this would be the golden opportunity for me to learn and finally make it. Check it out.
Hey everyone, it's Margaret Christy, and I am here today with none other than Miss Bev of Bev's Cake Cafe. Tell us, what is the most important thing about carving a cake?
Hi everyone. Never carve a hot cake. What I do is chill my cake overnight. Don't just stick the cake in the refrigerator. Make sure it's wrapped nicely.
Does that keep it moist?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
And then leave it in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. As you can see, my cake has been chilled. Yours just came out of the oven. We're going to try to carve a cake together. Always sketch your work. Don't just imagine and carve because you can make a mistake. I always like to carve from the original piece. So if you want a shoe or a bag, I like to have the item in front of me. So we're going to try to carve a little clutch, a little purse that looks like that.
Okay.
A little clutch.
Okay.
So you can tell your cake is a little warm. It's hot. It was baked today.
Okay.
Mine was baked yesterday, so it's nice and cold. Grab your knife.
Okay.
Based on the shape, I'm gonna cut these two sides off.
Oh, okay.
And you see how nicely the knife cuts through mine? See how clean it looks?
Yeah.
See how rough yours is?
Oh man.
See how nicely it trims? Now you try to trim yours and see it falls all over the place.
Oh my gosh, it's cracking in the middle
Exactly.
too.
See?
Yours is like a sculpture. Mine is just crumbling. It may not look good, but I know it'll taste great.
I'm going to try to carve it.
Please help me.
See, every time I press, see what happens? You don't have that here because it's chilled. Clean all the rough edges.
Wow. It makes it so much easier.
It makes your work so much easier. And even when you have to carve little spaces, it's so much easier. Get it out? We can't do that with this, can we? Because it's hot.
Not at all.
I want to show that to the camera. See, there's no way. So always remember, wrap up your cake nicely, tight, refrigerate it for 24 hours.
Right.
Sure it's nice and chilled when you take it out. Never carve a hot cake. Thank you.
Now, how long have you been in this location here in Union?
About 2 months.
Right, and we're right on Stuyvesant Ave. You're on the main drag, so anyone coming through Union can definitely stop by, and I recommend that you do. These cakes are outstanding. They taste better than they look, and as you can see from the pictures that we were showing you, they're absolute works of art that she creates here.
Or just stop by to have lunch or dinner. We have food here too.
Yes.
I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa, so we have authentic Ghanaian food here. Jollof rice, we have wache,
Peanut soup.
yes.
So good, so good. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Boy, I love that segment like a fat kid loves cake. Now, our third example of the day is Chef Jesse Jones. Now, he started his career as a dishwasher and made it all the way to being an acclaimed chef who now even has his own cookbook. Check it out for yourself and see what you think. Welcome, everyone. We're in studio today with the famous, and I can't implement that enough, the famous Chef Jesse Jones. He's the chef to the stars. Not only that, but he's an active philanthropist, and he also gives back to the kids, which is an amazing thing for anyone to do at your level, because I'm sure it's very easy to get caught up in your own stuff, but you find the time to do it. So for all of the audience members who are watching today, can you just give us a little background on yourself, Chef?
Wow. Well, you know what? First of all, I want to thank God for waking me up this morning. I mean, I'm truly blessed. I've been through, a lot, but I've been doing this 30 years. I started with a company called ARA at the time, it's Aramark now. Washing dishes, this story. Washing pots, worked my way up in corporate. But then also, while I was in corporate, I met a chef named Chef James, and he got me involved with the restaurant too. So I worked food service in the morning, restaurants at night, and 4-star French restaurants, and found a passion for cooking with my mother. My mom always was cooking, and I always wanted to get in there with her, and when she make a cake and, lick the cake bowl and just help her. And then when I went down south, my grandmother was an amazing cook. And so in the kitchen with her, snapping beans, green beans, and, the smells, and just being with her. And then I realized that, that I wanted to cook. But it's funny, back in those days, men wasn't really cooking.
I was just going to say that.
My uncle and them really teased me, like, oh, you want to be in the kitchen with the ladies. My journey started when I first got into the kitchen and washing dishes. Once I realized that I really enjoyed it, then I decided to go to culinary school. So I went to Hudson Community College, and just to hone my craft even more. And then while working, food service, just trying to get the gist of it. I had a lot of stuff, kind of bottled in, just a lot of animosity with just life, and didn't really love myself, and just from our background, not really having a father growing up. My mom working 3 jobs. And, just get out of school and you're home, so just to fast forward back from growing up. And it was just tough. And so the kitchen saved my life. I think if I wasn't in the kitchen, I'd probably been in jail or something, because it teaches you, discipline. Repetitiously, you have to work hard. Everything is, you're not standing around. You have to have, your mise en place together. You have to have all your accoutrements, everything cut, ready, especially in service time. So even if you didn't want to go into the culinary field, being in the kitchen still would, teach you, the right tools you need for, preparing meals for people. So went on to, like I said, run Aramark to be a food service director. I went all the way up the ladder. Fast forward on to that, I just jumped out on faith. I worked with some great chefs, and I decided to open up my own place. So I just did it. I just jumped out there, which wasn't the best thing to do, but I did it. I knew I could cook. I knew that people would love my food, because just the years of people telling me that I had good food. But when I opened up my restaurant, it wasn't easy, because it's I had good food, but there's so much to it. Yeah. Things happen. Air conditioning break. There's employees. I mean, it's just a lot. But you had to have a plan, or plan to fail. And you definitely had to have money, seed money, when you open up a business. Because I thought, even me working in the restaurant, working in the back of the house, I knew it. But still, it's a lot to the front of the house, especially hospitality, hostess, and cooking. And I had all those hats. So you end up getting burnt out. So, that's my story.
Well, you said a lot, and I don't want to miss anything, and I want to touch on a couple of things that you gave us.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's sticking out to me right now, is burning a hole in my mind, is the fact that you're an artist, right? You consider what you do a craft,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you went into the industry thinking like an artist and not realizing there's a whole nother entrepreneurial side of it that you hadn't undergone yet.
Right.
Your training was all in the culinary field.
Right.
It wasn't about marketing. It wasn't about
Exactly. Right.
overhead. It wasn't about finances. So you took a crash course, an AP honors class, advanced everything.
I know.
In that and
Yeah.
on your own dime. But
Yeah.
you know the beauty of that is that you could have never learned that, and you would have never retained that if you would have took those classes in school. The fact that you actually lived it and went through it, I guarantee you, if you ever try to do this again, number one, either you're going to realize that your role is in the kitchen, and that's where you enjoy being the most,
Right.
or you're going to oversee chefs and you're going to wear the other hats that
Right.
need to be attended to.
Right.
I think it was probably a priceless experience for you to have gone through, like a moment that was in that time frame. It was probably very difficult. And I feel for you because I actually went through the same thing.
Right.
You know, growing up and being a talented, I was a barber for a long time. I was very talented as a barber. I thought just because I was a great barber, now it's time for me to go and open a barbershop, hair salon, which I did. And I went from loving my skill, my craft, to hating it because not only cut hair, but I had to always take care of all the problems, take care of the bills, take care of the marketing, take care of everything. And I was making less money than I ever did working for someone else, which
right.
you probably experienced
Oh,
as well.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm right
So,
with
like,
you on that. Yeah.
everything you made, you put right back into the business. And I'm like, what kind of a business is this?
Right.
So it made me kind of, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
It made me kind of step back and say, well, if that's the case, if that's what this business is about, maybe the world is telling me I need to educate myself. Again,
Right.
there were so many moving parts that I had to get advice and I had to get specialty help from people who were good at each thing.
Right.
And I focused on what I was good at. And then that's how business for me worked out because
Yeah.
I knew that I don't know what I don't know.
Right. See that's where my downfall was. I'm Chef Jesse. Like I know everything. Like I don't want nobody to tell me anything. I don't want nobody to get any credit on their merit of me. So that was my downfall. I was very suicidal at that time, and I talk about it in my book. And one of the reasons why I wanted to take myself out because being a perfectionist, I wore a lot on my sleeve, but I just didn't want to take advice because I thought like I knew everything. Even if my wife came in and said something, I didn't know, or if somebody tried to give me some advice. So, but you know what? I crashed, but you know what? I got back up. You know, so when I say when I say dream big, never give up, but when I say that it's passion, opportunity, and work, I did it. And when I got back up, what you just said, that's what I can relate to. I can delegate and give somebody else, managerial skills. Everybody, whatever, you got, whatever you do in the business, fine. You know what I mean? Like I can tell you how I did it because I had a crash course on it. Yeah. But to be able to just lean back and let people, like to do their job.
I've read your story and I've heard of some things that you've mentioned in the past. One of them was that you weren't a chef right off the back, right? You went in as a dishwasher, and as a dishwasher, you gave yourself the correct proximity to the chefs.
Right.
And there's a saying that says proximity is power, and we've used that before. Just being around what you want to do will get you there eventually because you're working out with people who bench 300, you'll get there eventually too.
Right.
So you're in the kitchen as and you don't, at that moment, you weren't like, okay, well, I'm God's gift to food. You were a dishwasher.
Oh, right, yeah.
But then the chef saw something in you that said, look, I'm gonna put you on my line.
Yeah.
You went in and I gave you the opportunity, which led you to then further your career. So tell me about how it felt that day that somebody gave you that first opportunity.
Well, the greatest opportunity I had was I was at Dennis Floyd Town Square. It's out in Chatham. The restaurant's called Serenade now. And I was, working, just doing like little scrub around the kitchen. I was on the line, but I wasn't really like, in the mix of it. And so one day, Dennis gave me an opportunity. I was on the fish side. He gave me an opportunity to saute the meat side, which is very tough. And you know what? I rocked it out, and that was like the pinnacle of my life, coming in as just rough times in the kitchen to go over there and cook. Nobody patted me on the back. Nobody congratulated me. The chefs was real brutal. It was like survival of the fittest, but I felt great about myself. That's what made me realize that I was a strong line cook, but I really take pride in my food and that restaurant taught me everything I need about life. And then God just saved me. Then I got to a point that all this experience that I have, all these chefs I work for, everything that I know, then I just took a deep breath and I just calmed down. I was like, yeah, this is where I need to be. So now I live I just walk for a different beat, you know, different drum. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I teach the young kids. God gives me this indicator all the time where I can help them in ways that they don't even realize it. And it's happening to this day. Young kids that was cooking back in the day, that's cooks now, that's working in these restaurants, and they come to me and they go, you know, Mr. Jones, man, you saved me, man. I appreciate you. You know, it makes me feel great.
Oh, yeah,
especially when watching them being loaded, and I can tell right away if they're gonna make it in this business.
100%. All right. So you mentioned about the youngsters, and I know that a lot of the youth now, they want that instant gratification.
Right.
They want to be top chef right away. They want to be they want to be a baller like they see in the music videos, and that doesn't happen. Tell me about, because the restaurant industry is not an easy one. I mean, long hours. You start when most people are getting off of work.
Holidays.
You start working holidays, long nights. You're like a zombie half the time. Tell me about how much hard work and dedication went into this, and some of your lowest days where you wanted to throw in the towel.
I was working 2 jobs. I was working food service, and then I was doing my restaurants at night because, you know, I just always like to, you know, have my extra money with my wife so we can enjoy ourselves. But we lost this account. I was working at Aramark for the time, so they put me in Bernardsville at a unit. And that was a time of my life where I broke down in tears. I was really going to kill somebody. Like, it was tough. Like, they put me in a unit. One day it was a big event that they were having, and my team decided that they were going to renege on me. They were going to be very resistant, and I turned into the Brown Hulk. It was a bad day. I was just like, you know, I had my Jose, was a Spanish guy, was the right-hand guy. All the other days, but this particular day, he was just being real resistant. It's like they all like revolutionized on me. It was just like, we're going to be the Latino. Yeah, they're just like, we're going to sabotage yesterday. But you know what? My spidey sense has always been great with me. Like the people that was in the building loved my food, so I always prepped and I always planned, because I always like, you know what? I'm not going to fail on anybody's merits. So I always prep, so just in case somebody jam me. And so they decided to not help me that day. But I had my chickens, I had everything ready, but I went off. I took Jose in the freezer and I told him, I was like, I'll kill you. You know what I mean? He was like, what are you doing? He just like, I was like, don't ever do that. And so, but that day I resigned. I left my boss a voicemail, and he called, what's wrong? I said, I have to go. I'm really going to kill someone, because integrity, I really take my reputation and my integrity very serious. But the worst thing that bothers me is people can't be themselves and want to front on you. You know, people that's in business now, people that's in corporate. It's one thing I realized. I already got this. God gave me this gift. I can feel your vibe. Like, I feel your vibe. But you know how you can feel people's vibe? Like, nah, it's not going to work. So,
I get it.
So, you know, that's why I left. And then that's why my destiny is on my own.
Tell me how you made a transition from the restaurant industry. Now you do a couple different things, right? You're a chef to the stars. You wrote a book, your cookbook. You're giving back to the kids. How did you make that transition from restaurant business, entrepreneur, you know, that closing down? How did you find your way where you are now? You know,
I talk about it in my book, this park bench in South Orange, New Jersey, where I went, where every morning I went to I wanted to take myself out. And after I lost everything, I just sit at this bench. Like I said, I talk about it in my book, and I just ask God, like, why do you keep waking me up? I mean, you know, I'm a complete failure. My cell phone will ring, somebody will be inquiring about you know, event if they want me to do, or one of my celebrity clients will call me and say, hey, so it was giving me hope. So I decided to, when I wrote the book and sitting at that park bench, like I was saying, God just told me what my destiny really is, and it was to meet new people. Because when you're around the same people every day, some people just don't want to see you grow. You know, they know you want it, but they don't want to help you.
Got it. How difficult was it to pick 40 recipes to put in your book?
Well, you know, it's 40 feasts, but it's 250 recipes.
Oh,
yeah, but the feasts are, you know, the highlights over the 20 years. These are recipes. These are signature classics. 200 recipes. Some size. Me and Linda talked about some things that I wanted to do, but all these restaurants is things I've been doing for 20 years. That's why when people,
you gave away everything.
I gave away the best, and a few people are starting to do the recipes. And they're like, hey, these are really good. These are great recipes, because I'm a cookbook collector, and I get a lot of cookbooks, and then I do the recipe, and I'm like, this ain't right. They must have missed something.
Yeah, I don't know if you can answer this, but what dish can you not tolerate?
I love everything, but, you know, chicken tetrazzini and ambrosia, I always used to hate making them.
Last question I have for you. What's your favorite dish to prepare? You know, if you had to pick one.
Ossobuco.
Oh, yeah?
Low and slow, man.
Low and slow.
Yeah, ossobuco is my all-time favorite. I mean, I love oxtail too, but ossobuco, falling off the bone, give me some nice garlic mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
and I'm good to go.
That piqued my interest. Where's the best place to find that in Jersey? Obviously you're not preparing that.
No. But back when I had my restaurant, I did. But I do pop-ups. I just did something at Alba Winery. It's up in Milford, New Jersey.
Oh, I've been there. Beautiful place.
Yeah, awesome place. So I've been doing pop-ups all around. So stay tuned. I am going to work on like a little tour. On my Facebook and my Instagram, I post my events, but I'm going to get like a website where people can see where I'm going. But I'm going to be all over doing different pop-ups.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that is really good. Yeah. Okay, so Chef, tell us. I'm sure our audience is going to be dying to follow you and find out where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Where are your social media handles and where can they find you?
Oh yeah, so you can find me I'm on Facebook at Jesse Chef Jones. I'm on Instagram, Chef Jesse _. Twitter is Chef Jesse 1. You Google Chef Jesse, I come up. My number is 973-580-2203. If you need to get a personal book, I have a cookbook out. So it's on Barnes & Noble, it's on Amazon. So, I get personal copies. If you want to call me up, we'll make it happen.
Oh, nice. So you'll do a book signing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Good. Any charity events coming up?
The last one, I think the end of August, we have what they call the Farm to Table, and it helps the farmers kind of like keep them afloat.
That's excellent.
Yep, thank you.
That's awesome. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Jeff, you're amazing. Thank you for your story and for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching, being such a great audience. Don't forget, if you're watching this or hearing this, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. If you found this to be useful, please show us some love. Have a great one.
Pow.